Hello, good morning, everybody. How are you doing today? Hope you're having an amazing and blessed day today. Here we are continuing on with the beginning of wisdom is the fear of the Lord. And I have been kind of stuck with the fear of the Lord, but it's so important for us to understand that, because as we get into our question of the day is, what is godly wisdom? See, wisdom starts with understanding and trusting God. So what do we have to do? We have to trust in God, believe in God, have faith in God to then do the things his way. So wisdom is one thing, but godly wisdom is another. And really, it comes down to just trusting him and doing it his ways. If we don't trust him, we're not going to do it his ways. We're not going to believe that it's going to get what we want, because that's in the end. So James 1, 13, 15 in the Message goes on and oh, we got a cat opening the door behind us to the closet. So anyway, James, so our desires in our heart are our issues. That's what we want to fulfill. And we think doing it our way is going to get us what we want, but we really have to do it our God's way to have true fulfillment. See, this is what James 1:13 through 15 says in the Message. This is how it's said in the Message. Don't let anyone under pressure to give in to evil say, God is trying to trip me up. God is impervious to evil and puts evil in no one's path. I mean, that is huge right there. I mean, we really have to understand God never uses evil or bad to trip us up, and he never puts it in our paths. Next, the temptation to give in to evil comes from us and only us. We have no one to blame but the leering, seducing flare up of our own lust. That is what it is. Our own lust is what brings us to that. Lust gets pregnant and has a baby. Sin grows up to adulthood and becomes a real killer. That is, I mean, there is so much in that to unpack, but we do not have time. But it's our lust, it's our desires that draw us into temptation to do it our way, So if wisdom is knowing the right thing to do at the right time, how to do it, and then doing it, then godly wisdom, we need godly wisdom. So what is godly wisdom? What is the difference between godly wisdom and any other wisdom? Well, godly wisdom is knowing what God wants, knowing how he wants us to do it, when he wants us to do it, and walking with him to do it. So I'm going to read that again and put it all together. Godly wisdom is knowing what God wants, how he wants you to do it, when he wants you to do it, and walking with him to do it. See, that is what we need. How do we get that? How do we know what God wants for us, or for that moment, or for that situation? How do we know how to do it, how he wants us to do it? How do we know when he wants us to do it, when the timing is, and walking with him? And that is the rub, right? That is the question. How do we do all of that and get it to work? Well, it's not exactly an exact science, right? I can't tell you step by step. So that's the next 3 days. The next 2 days, we're going to get into that. But today we're going to start with an action point, and it's called read the Bible. See, we are blessed. We are blessed that we have this. This is a book of history. This is a book of wisdom. This is a book of who God is, who we are. There is so much to it, but we can start here, and we have that. Luckily, in our country, we have multiple versions of this. We have, if you don't understand it one way, you can read it in a different way. So if you have never read the Bible, I would encourage you to start in John. So that's my thing for you today, is read the Bible. Start in John if you haven't, or if you're just looking for wisdom, just read Proverbs. Read a chapter a day, a verse a day, and get something and listen. And there's just so much in there. And we're going to start more on the wisdom tomorrow and how to get it, because that is what we want. We want to know what God wants, how he wants you to do it, and when he wants you to do it, and walking with him to do it. So have a blessed and amazing day.